Greetings on my channel. Today I have a long video for you, but I hope you enjoy it. This is an interview with one of the generals of the Ukrainian armed forces. Is there even a chance to defeat Putin's army and return to the borders of 2014? Ukraine's armed forces may indeed begin to win in the coming months in strategic directions, first in the south and then in the east, liberating the Kherson, Zaporozhye, and Kharkov regions, and later the Luhansk and Donetsk regions. This opinion was expressed by the head of the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine, Army General of Ukraine Mykola Malomuzh. According to him, everything will depend on how effectively Ukrainian troops can organize strategic defense, especially in the Donetsk direction, and conduct strategic offensive operations. Not the tactical level, as now, we have certain successes in the Kherson, Zaporozhye and Kharkov directions, but strategic. Already now, having received from Western partners the latest weapons of extremely high class, long-range howitzers, air defense systems, electronic warfare and suppression of almost all Russian firing systems, we devalue all Russian forces, Hurricanes, Grads, Smerch, which the Russians are actively using today, shelling Ukrainian troops' positions and peaceful Ukrainian cities. If we get effective weapons in larger quantities, in August we will be able to dislodge the enemy from our territories in the south and partially in the east. This is quite realistic, says the general. However, Russia also has its own plans. It is trying to fortify itself in some directions, especially in Donetsk. It wants to reach the administrative borders of not only Luhansk, but also Donetsk regions, after which it will raise the issue of negotiations and consolidation of the status quo. I will tell you frankly, Russia has no prospects of capturing this Donetsk region. Therefore, Moscow is trying to impose negotiations now so that we will agree to its terms under pressure from new Russian offensive operations and possibly pressure from partners. General notes that Ukraine now has powerful reserves for the offensive. I believe we already have about 1 million mobilized and highly motivated troops, moreover, trained. With the ability to send these troops into battle with the latest weapons and equipment, we can already prepare strategic operations now. First of all in the south. After all, now the enemy has generated all his forces in the east. Therefore, it is possible to throw them out of Kherson. But it is necessary not to go in a frontal attack, but to attack from the flanks, from the rear, to conduct active sabotage work. As for the possibility of reaching the borders of 2014 as early as next year, as the head of GER Kirill Budanov announced earlier, and completely liberate Donbass and Crimea, including Sevastopol, the AFU does have that prospect, and in August to October they can start offensive operations, Malomuzh is confident. If we push back Russian troops from parts of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, we can raise the issue of going to the borders before February 24th. Such conditions may be perceived by the West. And here it will be important for our leadership to stand clearly on the fact that we must liberate the entire territory of our state. However, again, a scenario involving our withdrawal to the borders in 2014 next year is quite possible. But this will only happen when we start strategic offensive operations, says the general. As for Crimea, its liberation, according to Malomuzh, will be more difficult. Russia has turned Crimea into a real warship. Like the Titanic, but military. Sevastopol is a powerful naval base, where, among other things, there are cruise missiles that can carry a nuclear charge. They can stand there until the end. So only when Russia's failure on the southern and eastern front of Ukraine begins. When Putin's regime begins to crumble. When a mass retreat of Russian troops begins, and panic begins not only among Russian servicemen, but also among Russian citizens, and most importantly, in the Russian elite. When trust in Putin declines, and destabilization begins in the Russian leadership. Only then will it be possible to conduct an operation to liberate Crimea. It will be difficult, but possible, the general is sure. We have factories that produce strategic missiles with a range of 250 kilometers, which can reach Sevastopol, the Crimean Bridge, and the territory of Russia. We can produce Stugner and Olya. And our Corsairs are no worse than American Javelins, they hit up to 6 kilometers, their accuracy is high, avionics and guidance systems there are German, British, American. We must have not 3,000, but tens and tens of thousands of such samples. Also we need missiles, ours and Western, NATO standard, a powerful radio-electronic system, radio reconnaissance online, so we could track any movement of troops on the territory of Russia, Belarus, any missile launches, their movement on the territory of Ukraine and their concentration in specific areas, says the general. Thank you to everyone who had the patience for this long read, see you soon.